You know, the agricultural revolution was a very important part in history.
Wow, Aryan, thank you for the history lesson. Can we move on now?
I was getting to it, but okay, go ahead.
So, our next speaker is Mr. Pushkar. A portfolio manager by profession, Mr. Pushkar has been studying resource conservation and organic farming. Oh, wait, that's why you said agricultural revolution.
Took you long enough.
Anyway, Mr. Pushkar is widely known in Pune city for heading the Vasundhara Swachhata Abhiyan.
That's so cool. Over to you, Mr. Pushkar.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. So, as we all know, our food habits have a tremendous impact on not just our own cities but on the entire globe. I'm thankful to Satya for including some slides in his presentation where he mentioned there's references of the carbon and the water footprint of our food habits, and not just our food habits but everything that we buy. So, and he had also mentioned something about around 20 to 30 people, migrating towards cities every day from our villages, or for any villages across the globe for that matter. The reason behind all of this is that we are used to certain fancy foods now, and we've given up our traditional grains and pulses and our staple diets. And it's the industrial farming, it's industrial agriculture, it's animal agriculture that is forcing farmers to give up the traditional knowledge of agriculture, and which was as you all know, it was the true sustainable lifestyle. It was a true sustainable farming that they practiced till about 100 years ago, and even in India till about 30 to 40 years ago. And we've forced them towards taking up chemical farming and hybrid seeds and all of that. Why is that? Because we want our basmati rice, we want our our paneer and our cheese and our meats, all of that. So that is driving these farmers towards taking up cash crops. They've completely given up their traditional knowledge of intercropping, of mixed cropping, which was the ideal way, because it was resource conservative. It would require much less water. It was primarily dependent on, it was rain-fed farming essentially. So now we see there are more dams coming up. We are exploiting, rather, India, we are the largest exploiter of groundwater, and all of that comes back to what we choose to eat. What so it's our palate, it's our food habits that are driving our country, or rather that they can continue to drive our country towards oblivion, or we can work towards restoration. So you guys, you the younger generation, you have the greatest power in your hands, because you can actually ensure that your families modify, appropriately modify their eating habits. They choose to go towards our traditional millets and our grains and our pulses, and ensure that there is no animal exploitation, ensure there is no exploitation of labor of farmers and of resources, obviously. And it is going to bring about a huge change, because if you want water for agriculture, you need electricity. So you know the cycle. So essentially, the carbon emissions and the water footprint is just enormous for for us to negate over, I don't know, over the next century, even if we try. So the sooner we start, the better. And there's a very simple learning that we've come up in Vasundhara Swachhata Abhiyan. We all know that we need to do KYCs, like know your customer or sort sort of things that we need documents to verify documents to even open us a bank account or even to have your Aadhaar card or something like that. Do we ever verify, our food sources? We don't. So why not have a family farmer like we have a family doctor or something of that sort? It's 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 vital that we do that now. There uh, in, I'm sure that there are small hamlets and villages around every city, and you just have to go to your nearby city and get in touch with uh, some farmers or a group of farmers that can help provide everything that you need every week. That is very much possible, and that is a need of the hour, because the farmers, they have no clue as to what to grow, when to grow, how much to grow. And we many a times we see the farmers protesting, throwing away surplus produce on highways and in the mandis and markets. Why does that happen? Because we never collaborate with them. We never give them a fair idea in advance as to what we need, what we want. It's vital now more than ever that we go for our traditional staple diets, seasonal diets, and we tie up with farmers so that they have a fair idea as to how much and what they should be growing and how much of it they should be growing. We can also assure them fixed prices for their produce so that they are not exploited. And all of this is going to lead to more sustainable, resource conservative and sustainable farmings. It will ensure that there is no losses of water, because anytime a farmer has to throw away his surplus produce, that's water. That is water, we are not going to get back. That is electricity that we are not going to get back. That is carbon emissions that we are not going to be able to sequester again. So as most of our speakers have said before me, and I'm sure they will say, even the next speakers are going to say the same, that it's individual actions, it's small actions that can make a huge difference. And I am so very happy that you guys have put together this NatCon, and I would be very much happy to be part of this for 3 days. And anytime you guys would like to volunteer, those of you who are in Pune, there's Satya and there's more speakers coming up with whom you can join hands and you can volunteer. Vasundhara Swachhata Abhiyan would be more than happy to help you guys if you ever want to work on the Baner, Pashan, Soos hills. We don't focus primarily on plantation alone. Our focus is more on watershed restorations, because we end up looking at hills, and by we I mean any citizen in the beginning, we make the mistake of looking at hills as standalone entities and rivers as standalone entities. No, that is not the case. They are part of an entire ecosystem. They are part of a watershed, and one doesn't work without the other, believe me. So it's not like we'll have a plantation frenzy or something like that. As Satya had rightly pointed out, it's more important to ensure that the existing green cover is protected, and scientifically and steadily work on improving the green cover in any city. And obviously, I think Satya has pretty much covered it very well. So it's individual choices again. The more oh yes, I before I forget, this is called a water saving aerator. It's a wonderful thing that each one of us must fit to our kitchen sink taps and our wash basin taps. uh, if you ever want to measure how much water we you know inadvertently waste, then you can measure it. What this little thing does is it ensures that not more than 3 liters a minute is dispensed from your taps. So even if you're washing your utensils or washing your hands, whatever, you'll not. This is a water saving aerator. It's a water saving aerator. It's 5 water saving aerator. So this this little invention has it helps me save more than 300 liters a day in my own home. 300 liters a day. So that's huge annual savings, in terms of water consumption. And what happens because of this is I'm exploiting less groundwater. I'm using less municipal water supply, so that extra water is available for the river, which means that it's available for an ecosystem, and obviously it's available for farmers downstream. So that, it's individual actions like these that will ensure that we it doesn't matter if you're living in an urban landscape or not. It will ensure that we are not exploiting others, somewhere around, on the other side of the planet. It will make sure. So I would be more than happy if way then the members of NatCon would share my contact details. I've been more than happy, and you guys are more than welcome to get in touch with us. If you're on the western side of Pune, we'd be more than happy to work with you. Thank you so much.